The school injury can take a couple different forms. One school injury case is a case where students are injured because there's not proper protocol or guidelines in order to keep kids safe in the classroom, at recess, at lunch. They were injured as a result of the failure of the school to properly protect them. The second type of case we handle is where kids are abused physically or sexually at school. And those are the cases where the school hasn't done a good job hiring the right people. They certainly haven't done a good job supervising their employees, and they've retained bad employees. How did somebody who could be harmful to a student get into the school? At Ledyard Law, we analyze every step of the employment process to find out, how did this bad actor slip through the cracks? How did this happen?
Jacob was 9 at the time, happened to step back to my office, and I heard an unfortunate voice message from the school that my son had fallen and would not get up. And I was just told that he had been out on a field playing football and had been hurt, and they were unable to get him to stand. By the time I arrived, they had lifted him off of the ground, put him into 2 rolling chairs because they were going to attempt to bring him into the building that way. He was conscious, but you could tell that he was in distress. I immediately got upset. I asked what had been done. I was told that they gave him mustard because they thought that he had a leg cramp. We arrived at the hospital. The triage nurse grabbed him and just ran with him into the hospital. This really altered his life because all of a sudden, he's faced with this femur bone break, which is not an average broken leg situation. When I first talked to David from Ledyard Law, we had a very comfortable conversation. It made me feel like my son's life was valued. To hear someone else completely removed from the situation feel as strongly as I did as his parent was very reassuring. We developed a relationship. It didn't necessarily feel like attorney-client. It felt like this was now a friend of the family that was there to look out for Jacob's well-being as well.
If you suspect that your child has been injured at school, you should reach out to Ledyard Law immediately. We'll take the steps necessary to make sure that your case stays in the forefront, that it's properly documented, that evidence is preserved, and that people are held accountable. We understand that these are incredibly emotional cases, but we'll take the time to listen to what you've gone through, to make sure that you're provided a voice in the process, and to make sure that the proper people are held accountable for what's happened to your family.